Okay, on today's video, what I want to talk about is something that every rod manufacturer, including the one that I work for, is scared to tell you. So if you ever wanted to go buy a rod, what's the first thing, if you're looking for advice from somebody, whether it be YouTube or if you message me in the app, first thing you probably ask is what action or what power do I need for drop shotting? What action or power do I need for a crankbait? What action or power do I need for a top wire? It's probably the first thing you ask. And so one of the things that I know for a fact we don't talk about enough in the fishing industry is how over romanticized rod power and action is. Every time that subject comes up, people start talking about parabolic this and that, and listen, there is some science behind rod power and action, and there is actually a definition. But for you and me as anglers, a lot of that stuff is just words that don't really do anything for us. Okay, you just really need to know if it's soft or it's stiff. So what I'm trying to tell you, listen, I just said a bunch of words. What I'm trying to tell you is rod power and action is just fake. It's just, and listen, if rod power and action is just fake, what I mean by that is there's no universal standard for rod manufacturers when it comes to a medium power rod. There's no universal standard. There's no chart that if the rod bends from the third eye to the tip that says, okay, now that's a medium light fast. Every rod manufacturer is just grabbing these values out of the thin sky and saying, that's a heavy. Here, I'll take a rod right here. This is one of my rods. This is one of my signature rods right here. We're gonna turn this into a marketing video for my. We're gonna turn this into a marketing video for my signature rods, because this is how I got to this. It really is. That's a medium. That's a medium moderate. We literally just do that and come up with a value for it. There's no universal standard. So with you spending so much time of your valuable time trying to figure out if you need a medium fast or a medium light for your drop shot, is really just a waste of time until you put that rod in your hand, or if maybe you have a valued fishing teacher that you trust to tell you what rod to buy. But over obsessing over the rod, what they write on the back of these rods, I'm telling you is a mistake, because everybody's just grabbing these values. Are one of two things. When they call this rod, so this is actually my signature series medium heavy fast. This is a graphite composite rod. These values are, it's a medium heavy fast in relation to the rod that we're calling heavy. That means it's going to be a medium heavy. It's going to be softer than the medium like a heavy action or heavy power rod. So we come up with medium heavy. That's literally how we do it. If you want to know how I know that this is how rod manufacturers come up with action and power, is because I've worked on rods with rod companies before. I've worked for the last 18 months. I've spent working on my signature series with Level. And listen, I'm just telling y'all the God honest truth. We spent 18 months building this rod series. I'll show you every last one of them here. I spent 18 months building these rods and coming up with just the right action and power on these rods. We get to the end, some of these rods, they actually don't even have any writing on them because they're prototypes. But we get to the end of like the last few weeks of building these rods, and then guess what we come up with then? When it's time to actually print them, put labels on them, then you know what we start saying? Hey, what do we want to call this rod? They literally called me and said, hey, what do you want to call that graphite composite rod? Do you want to call that a medium moderate? Do you want to call that a medium heavy fast? Like, what do you want to call it? It's literally up to me to decide what the action and the power of the rod is. That's it. There is no universal standard. There's nothing to tell you. So keep that in mind. There's two ways to figure out which rod is best for whatever you're doing. I'm going to show you. I do want to show you in this video. Don't be mad at me. You clicked on the video. I'm going to use this opportunity to talk a little bit about my rods and why I did that, why I did it this way. Then I'll tell you how you can get these my new signature series with level. I'm pretty excited about these. I'll tell you a little bit, you know, why would you buy a couple of them. I'll talk about that, but let me finish this conversation on, here's my favorite one of the ones right here, the spinning rod. But we'll talk a little bit about action and power, what you need, and why these rods are the action and powers they are in this video. There's 5 rods in this lineup. There's 3 casting rods and 2 spinning rods. And we'll talk about the action and power on them, why they are the way they are. This is actually not one of my signature series ones right here. I'm building this rod series for level. This is my signature series. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 5 rods in the lineup. You probably wonder, how do we build this base? I just told you that we grab these. Honestly, it's all about our interpretation of what a medium heavy, or what a heavy is, or what a fast, or what is a moderate. It's all of our interpretation. So how do we come up with those values? We actually just start with the base. We start with the base. So we take a rod that we like, something that already exists, and we say, I like this rod from the first guide to the reel butt, or maybe I like this reel seat, but right in here this rod's a little too soft, and right in here it's a little too stiff. We take those values and we say, look, give me this, get rid of the rest of the rod, and then take this rod right here and then put it basically on top of that, and let's have a blend. Let's let it make a baby. We look at the actions and powers of the rods that we just used, and then we use that for a base for what we're going to call the action and power on that rod. That's kind of how it works. And so that's what I did with this signature series lineup. I have there's 3 casting rods, 2 spinning rods that I designed. And basically the way I designed them was around techniques that I feel like I use a lot, and techniques that I feel like are, you know, just really important to me. I have a lot of confidence in. One of those, if you follow my channel for any length of time, you know I love to throw a crankbait. So I have 2 crankbait rods. The first crankbait rod is this one. This is a 7.2 graphite composite rod. I prefer graphite composite rods for cranking because it's just unparalleled hookup ratio. You can cast baits better. Just after you've really learned this tool, graphite composite by far is just superior, unmatched cranking rod. I also use them for, so crankbaits, I'm talking about medium divers like a Spro rock crawler, what's the Rapala version, the rock crawler is a knockoff of the, what is it? I can't even think about it. The Storm Wigglewort, crankbaits like that. I'll throw baits like that on here, and then I'll also throw chatterbaits or lipless crankbaits on the 7.2 medium heavy. Then next thing I like to do is I like to throw a square bill crankbait. And so this is actually a 610. This is a 6'10" rod, 6'10" graphite composite. Graphite composite is a little bit softer throughout the entire blank. It has a little bit more, I always refer to it as a little bit more, it has a little bit more to it. You know, just softer, just a little bit more finesse. And so the reason that I like a 6'10" graphite composite for smaller crankbaits is you can just throw them a lot better. You can throw a shad wrap on this rod or a small square bill and bomb it a mile, and then stay hooked up with your fish as well. So I have a 6'10". It's a medium heavy moderate, I think is what we call it, or maybe even a medium moderate. I don't even remember what I call my own rods. I know, isn't that crazy? I don't care as long as it's right. Yeah, it's a 6'10" medium moderate. Square bills, balsa plugs, shad wraps, that's what that rod's going to be for. And then I also have, it's actually this one right here. Let me see. I also have this one right here. This one is a 7-foot medium heavy power rod. And this is going to be what I would say. This is my favorite. If I could only have one rod to fish with, it would be this one, because you can just do so many things with it. I throw spinner baits on this. I throw top waters. I throw poppers. I throw Texas rigs, buzz baits, braided line, fluorocarbon, mono. I do whatever I need to do with this rod. So if you're looking for just one rod to do everything with, you're a shoreline fisherman, a kayak guy, I would say this would probably be the best one. Is the B-Lad Signature Series 7-foot medium heavy fast rod. You can do anything with this rod. And that's why I wanted to put it in my lineup, because this is my rod for when I go bank fishing, or I take out our John boat, or I just need one rod to do a lot of different things. It's going to be this one. So if you're looking into that one, and I'm going to tell you at the end of the video how you get these rods, how you can sign up for them. I'll give you all the information that you need to know, okay? So just chill. I know somebody already put it in the comments. How do I get them? How do I buy them? I'm ready to go. I got you, baby. I got you. Just hold on. I've got 2 spinning rods in this lineup. Probably the 2 rods that I'm most excited about that you need to hear about. I'm going to talk about one that you may not be expecting first. So I actually designed a ultralight setup for my signature series. I have to fish ponds. Listen, I have a 6-year-old son that loves to fish, and I have to fish ponds at least 3 times a week, and in the spring it might be every day. And so I do this a lot. And one thing that I noticed when it comes to ultralight gear like this, there's really not a lot of good options for high-end ultralight gear. You find a lot of rods that are too short, they don't have good components, the reel seat's not really good, and the action and power is not really sensitive, and it's just dead. So I wanted to work with Level to kind of create a really, really good ultralight spinning setup. So here it is right here. This is my signature series. What's different about it is this is a 7-footer. A lot of your ultralight setups are going to be really short rods, like a 6'8", 6'10", 6'6", 6 foot even. And so when you're casting little lures like this, they don't really work that well. Like a little 32nd, a 64th ounce crappie jig, they don't work that good. But having one that's 7 foot long, they call this one a 7 foot light extra fast, but it's got a lot of I throw a 2-pound test line on it, 4-pound test, 6-pound max. I think this is 4 that I have on here right now. But we use this when we're fishing dock lights, when I'm going pond fishing, catching like these little microscopic bass that we have in our ponds that we fish. They don't have big bass in them, but they're a ton of fun to catch on 4-pound tests on an ultralight setup. So I designed that for fishing ponds, pan fishing, crappie fishing, doing all the fun stuff. The powerhouse of the whole series is this one. This is the one I probably spent the most time on. I'll tell you a little bit about it. This is the 7-foot medium moderate spinning rod. So I call this the Euro grip. I don't know what y'all call it. I call it the European style grip. This is my favorite. I'll hold my spinning rods like that above the reel. A lot more leverage, a lot more sensitivity than splitting my fingers like that. So that's why you have this Euro style grip, French style, call it what you want to. You can call it Brian Latimer style. I don't give a gosh dang. Y'all notice I did go with cork on all of my rods this year. We're bringing cork back, making cork great again. Can't believe I said that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that part out. Anyway, like a Level 7-foot medium moderate. Everything that I do spinning rod, everything that I do finesse wise is with this rod. In fact, I'm going saltwater fishing this weekend down at the coast. I'll be using this rod to throw to catch like 8, 10, 12 pound redfish and trout. My trout won't be 8, 10, 12 pound test, but when I do redfish and trout fishing, it's this rod right here. You see right now I got a drop shot tied on it. I'll use it for a shaky head. I'll use it for a swim bait, a wacky rig, a weightless stick bait, a small swim bait. Anything that I use for a spinning rod is going to be this one right here. I usually pair it with the 3000 series spinning rod like what you got right there. But we do call that one the 7-foot medium moderate. That's the 5 rods. Unless y'all see me out here, little tip here. There's the 5 rods that I have in my setup. I'm actually doing it right now. I'm going to get a link for you to sign up for the wait list. If you want to get these rods, they haven't hit retail yet. It's literally days, maybe a couple weeks before they hit retail. If you want to have the first dibs on my signature series spinning rods and bait casters, I'm going to leave a link in the comment section and the description box where you can be put on the wait list. As soon as they're available, they're going to send you an email to let you know where you can get them. You can buy them straight from Level if you want to, or they'll give you a list of retailers or dealers near you where you can buy them. If you're a part of the Straight Up Fishing app, one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to have a few rods that I give out to some of the guys in the app and just let you use them and give us a review. Tell us what you like. Maybe you don't like something about them. If you're a part of the Straight Up Fishing app, I know a lot of you guys that watch my YouTube channel, you're also part of the app, so you'll get a chance to do that. If that's something you think you're interested in before you buy, join the app. And we're going to give out a couple rods and let you test them there. Main part I made about this video is Don't let the fishing industry trick you into believing that you need to put too much energy into rod action and power. We're all just making it up. So until you pick that rod up or you have a valued fishing teacher to tell you what to use, there's no one action of power that works for any lure or technique. There's nothing that you have to have for any lure or technique. We're all just making it up on the fly. That's the truth. We're all just making it up on the fly. It's all fake. I shouldn't say it's fake. That might be an exaggeration. But we're all just making it up. So do as you please. Use what works for you. And don't feel the pressure to do the same thing everybody else does. Make it up as you go.